Before I tell you anything about who I am or what I do, I want to take a moment to share something personal with you. I am the granddaughter of a Louisiana sugarcane sharecropper. My mother lived on a plantation in Napoleonville, Louisiana, until she was 14 years old, and they left in 1964, which isn't too long ago. My life was shaped by messages, some subtle and some not so subtle, that told me that my family, that myself, that we were not enough, that we had to work twice as hard just to be considered half as worthy. So I did what felt natural. I worked, I studied, I became a physician, I climbed the leadership ladder, I achieved, I accomplished, I poured myself into my career, into my family, and to everyone around me, always putting their needs above my own. And somewhere in the middle of all of it, something in me got tired. And if you're watching this right now, I have a feeling that you might be able to relate. Do you remember when you were a little girl and you knew without a shadow of a doubt that you were royalty, that you were some kind of superhero? For me, my superhero was Wonder Woman. And best be believing I had like the t-shirt, the wristband, all the things. For you, maybe you ran around with a cape or you had a crown or a scepter. You knew that you were powerful, you were magical, you were enough, just as you were. And then life happened. The messages came flooding in from people, from experiences, from a world that has a lot of opinions about who you were and what you're worth. Like life got busy, responsibilities piled up. You had your education, career, children, relationships, home life. There's always something, always someone to tend to. And underneath all of it, quietly and persistently, ran the message that you were not enough. So that little girl did what felt completely natural. She tried to work her way into being enough in her career, in parenting, in her relationships, and even with her body. The task of life took center stage. And before you know it, that little girl, that queen, took a back seat. And then you became exhausted, felt drained, and the weight crept up. You weren't sleeping, you were aching, you looked at yourself in the mirror and thought, I don't even recognize myself anymore. Does any of that sound familiar? Here's what I want you to understand, and this might be the most important thing I say today. When people feel like they are not enough, they reach for tools to try to fix it. And the world handed us 3 tools, disguised as discipline, sacrifice, and strength. These tools, obsession, deprivation, and isolation, can become wounds. But nobody gave us these wounds. We picked up these wounds ourselves, trying to find our way back to ourselves, trying to find our way back home. And I want you to hear that because it means that it was never a character flaw. It was never a weakness. It was a woman doing the most logical thing that she could with what she was given. And I know this myself because of my own experiences. These tools were just wrong. Let's talk about tool number 1, obsession. Counting every calorie, tracking every macro, earning your food, punishing yourself when you slip, thinking about food constantly as a problem that needs to be solved, as an enemy that needs to be conquered. This is obsession, dressed up as discipline. And sadly, in our world, we will fuel it in the social media space as well. Tool number 2, deprivation. Cutting the carbs, skipping the meals, restrict, white-knuckling your way through hunger because somehow suffering meant you were trying hard enough. This is deprivation, dressed up as sacrifice. Tool number 3, isolation. Not telling anyone that you're suffering or struggling. Figuring it out all alone by yourself. Being strong, holding it together. Suffering in silence because asking for help meant that you were weak. This is isolation, dressed up as self-reliance. Obsession, deprivation, isolation. These are not character flaws. These are faulty tools, and you cannot build your way home back with faulty tools. Now, there's so many voices out there telling you what to do, and often they tout science that is valid or give advice that's real, and the research is there. but it can fall on follow ground if we don't put down the faulty tools, because the cycle can just continue. More obsession, more deprivation, more isolation. And you keep wondering, like, what's wrong with me? The answer is nothing. Nothing is wrong with you. The problem was never your willpower. The problem was never your discipline. The problem was the tools. So today I want to offer you 3 different tools. What if, instead of working harder to become enough, you just started from the truth that you already are enough? What if your health journey wasn't about fixing yourself, but was about coming home to yourself? What if you approached all of it from a place of love and reverence for the queen that you are? The second tool, presence, or being present, replacing obsession. What if you prioritize your sleep and it stopped being another item on a checklist, but it actually became a way to nourish yourself, to give the body the rest and reset that it deserved? What if being at war with your body changed and you became curious about it? You had awareness without shame, presence without judgment, being fully here in this body in this moment rather than constantly fighting it. Tool number 2. What if nourishment replaced deprivation? What if, instead of approaching food from a place of restriction, you lavished yourself with food that actually built your amazing body? What if movement stopped becoming punishment and became a way to strengthen the incredible gift that you've been given? What if abundance replaced scarcity in how you ate, how you moved, and how you even spoke to yourself? New tool number 3, connection replacing isolation. What if taking small moments throughout your day to breathe, to check in with yourself, to support your nervous system, was actually one of the most powerful things you could do for your health? Here's something your doctor may not have told you. Chronic stress raises cortisol, and elevated cortisol makes weight loss incredibly difficult. It also increases inflammation in your body. No matter how hard you try, it's difficult to fight against elevated cortisol. Connection with yourself, with the people you love, and the community that truly sees you. It tells your body that you're safe. And a body that feels safe can finally begin to heal. I want you to know there is a queen inside of you who's been waiting patiently, faithfully, for you to remember her. She never left. She just got buried under the exhaustion and the messages and the faulty tools. Reclaiming your health isn't about becoming someone new or perfection. It's about coming home to who you have always been. That's what we do at Abundant Health and Wellness. It's not another diet. It's a whole new relationship with yourself. Body, mind, metabolism, and your lived experience is built on presence, nourishment, and connection, because you are always a queen. It's time to rise and reign. If this resonated with you, if you heard yourself somewhere in these words, I want you to know that there is a place for you. We have a small founding cohort opening right now with just 10 spots. And the first step is a metabolic health snapshot. It's a 60-minute visit with me where we look at the whole picture of your health together. We look at your labs and your medical history and build a roadmap that finally honors you. You can apply at haveabundanthealth.com/weight-loss/apply. I personally review every single application. You deserve this. Rise and reign, queen.